Good Friday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversations Daily News, where we made it to the end of another week. Of course, you have your news headlines coming up on this Friday, with a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. And in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you'll be part of my conversation with Sandra Leal, the Vice President of Pharmacy Practice Innovation and Advocacy for CVS Health. She's going to be talking to you guys about the importance of getting your flu shot this year. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with their Friday headlines. In national news, Trump's legal woes mount without protection of presidency. Stark repudiation by federal judges he appointed, far-reaching fraud allegations by New York's Attorney General. It's been a week of widening legal troubles for Donald Trump, laying bare the challenges piling up as a former president operates without the protections afforded by the White House. The bravado that served him well in the political arena is less handy in a legal realm dominated by verifiable evidence, says the Associated Press. Judges this week have looked askance at his claims, and where a fraud investigation that took root when Trump was still president burst into public view in an allegation-filled 222-page state lawsuit. In politics, you can say what you want, and if people like it, it works. In a legal realm, it's different, said a presidential power scholar and an American university government professor. It's an arena where there are tangible consequences for missteps, misdeeds, false statements in a way that doesn't apply in politics, he said. That distinction between politics and law was evident in a single 30-hour period this week, says the Associated Press. Trump insisted in one interview that aired on Wednesday that the highly classified government records he had at Mar-a-Lago actually had been declassified, that a president has the power to declassify information even by thinking about it, he said. A day earlier, however, an independent arbiter his own lawyers had recommended appeared skeptical when the Trump team declined to present any information to support his claims that the documents had been declassified. The special master, a veteran federal judge, said Trump's team was trying to have its cake and eat it too. In more national news, U.S. urges world to tell Russia to stop its nuclear threats. The United States urged other nations to tell Russia to stop making nuclear threats and end the horror of its war in Ukraine, as all three countries' top diplomats spoke but didn't quite meet at a high-profile UN Security Council meeting on Thursday. Held alongside the annual UN General Assembly gathering of world leaders, the session followed a striking development in the war this week. Russia called up a portion of its reserves for the first time since World War II. At the same time, President Vladimir Putin said his nuclear-armed country would use all means available to us to defend itself if a territory is threatened. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken saw Putin's remarks as particularly menacing, given plans for referendums in Russia-controlled parts of eastern and southern Ukraine on whether to become part of Russia. Western nations have condemned those votes as illegitimate and non-binding, but in their wake, Moscow might see any Ukrainian attempt to retake those areas as an attack on Russian territory. In more national news, Biden vows U.S. won't walk away from storm-struck Puerto Rico. President Joe Biden said Thursday the full force of the federal government is ready to help Puerto Rico recover from the devastation of Hurricane Fiona, even as Bermuda and Canada's Atlantic provinces were preparing for a major blast from the Category 4 storm. Speaking at a briefing with Federal Emergency Management Agency officials in New York, Biden said, "We're all in this together." Biden noted that hundreds of FEMA and other federal officials are already on the ground in Puerto Rico, where Fiona caused an island-wide blackout. More than 60% of power customers remained without energy on Thursday, and a third of customers were without water, and local officials admitted they could not say when service will be fully restored. In sports, Prime Video averages 15.3 million viewers in its NFL season opener. Amazon Prime Video's first regular season game as the exclusive home of Thursday Night Football was a big hit. Kansas City 27-24 victory over the Los Angeles Chargers last Thursday averaged 15 million viewers across all platforms, according to Nielsen and Amazon's first-party measurement. Prime Video President Jay Marine said in a note to staff earlier this week that our measurement shows that the audience numbers exceeded all of our expectations for viewership. The game averaged 13 million viewers using only Nielsen's rating. That is a 47% increase from last year's Week 2 game between Washington and the New York Giants, which averaged 8 million on NFL Network. And finally, in business news, Wall Street ends lower as global central banks raise rates. Stocks fell again on Thursday, deepening Wall Street's losses for the week as central banks around the world hiked interest rates to fight inflation. The S&P 500 fell 0.8%, its third straight drop. The benchmark index is down about 3% so far this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite lost 1.4%. The Russell 2000 Index, a smaller company stocks, fell 2.3%, a sign investors are worried about the economy. The major indexes are on pace for their fifth weekly loss in 6 weeks. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Friday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. Others might try to tell you that you are nothing if you are not on top. Do not believe them. Your success is measured in how you choose to use each day of your life. As long as you are doing all you can to make a difference and living your life with purpose, you're a winner each and every day that you're here. Have an amazing Friday and enjoy your weekend. Sandra Leal of CBS Health is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Sandra Leal, the Vice President of Pharmacy Practice Innovation and Advocacy for CBS Health, joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about the importance of the flu vaccine this year. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for the invitation.
So, Sandra, as I mentioned, of course, in the news, a lot of people are hearing about, the COVID-19 vaccine and the boosters, but why is it so important for us to make sure we're getting our flu shot as well?
Well, we definitely want to have people protect themselves and their family from getting the flu. And we know that there are different circulating strains out there of the flu from year to year, so it's really important to get the latest vaccine formulation to provide the optimal protection. And the flu vaccine takes about 2 weeks to build immunity in your body, so it's really important to get that vaccination early in the fall, ideally by the end of October, just so that you're protected before you actually start seeing the spread in your community. And like you mentioned earlier, with so much COVID around, we've had a lot of strain on our healthcare resources, so it's really important to minimize you getting sick and really protecting those healthcare resources for those that really need it.
Yeah. We hear about, of course, the side effects, Sandra, that have been reported for some with the COVID vaccine. When we're talking about the flu vaccine, what are some of the common side effects there?
Some of the common side effects people experience can include things like soreness or redness right around the site of injection. You can also feel a little bit of muscle aches or fatigue or headache, but a lot of times these are very mild and they tend to resolve within a day or two. And some people don't even experience any side effects at all, so it just depends on the individual.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back to you guys on Mondays, more news, message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Now let's go make it a great one.